Range fans and reloaders network, we are going to get ourselves in some trouble today with 357 Magnum. You guys answer the question for me. What do you think is the best bullet weight for 357 Magnum? I don't know. We're going to do some testing with what I think is really close, and I'll tell you why. Since I have so much testing to do, I'm going to try to keep the talking to a minimum today, guys, but I want to tell you what we have with us. Urban Carry, self-defense. That's a Ruger Security 6, 2.5-inch barrel. Then over here, you have a Smith & Wesson 686, 4-inch barrel. So you know the chronograph is involved in this somehow. 4-inch barrel, 686 plus. That's for home defense. Then you have Woods Carry or revolver hunting. In those states that allow it, by the way. Taurus Tracker, 6.5-inch ported barrel. What's this old thing back here? That's a Marlin, 1894 16-inch barrel. Yes, the chronograph is going to be involved. And what is this ugly stuff? Yeah, the melting job didn't do so well. This block is about 5 years old and starting to turn color on me. But it's some gel block. What for, you ask? 170 grain blue from old Big E. So I ask, again, range fans, Reloaders Network, and Big E's Discord, what is the optimal bullet weight for 357 Magnum? I believe the 170 grain, if you cast your own, is coming close. The 180 grain seems to take up a lot of case volume. You can't necessarily get the velocities up where you might need for each one of these situations. So when he offered Big E the 170 grainers, I took him up on it for sure. And I couldn't wait to get out on the range, but there's a little bit of a twist. We all know H110 is the go-to Magnum powder. That's right. I've got some loaded up, 170 grain of H110, loaded at the same time with the same overall length of 1.635 under 170 grain pill. But then I found some 300 MP from Alliant. 300 MP is supposed to be the new modern age H110. Look, folks, don't get out your pitchforks, come chasing me. I didn't say that. That's what Alliant says. It's the new modern age. It has less flash, not as efficient because it seems like by the book and by the numbers, it takes about 1 grain more to make the same velocity that H110 makes, no matter the weight. But here's a difference with 300 MP. It is a lot less pressure than H110. So I'm going to see if it makes a difference in the old shooting hand from a recoil perspective. Nope, not scientific. Yes, we're going to put all these across the chronograph. H110, 5 shots through all of them. 300 MMP, 5 shots through all of them. 300 MMP loaded with 1 grain less than H110. Folks, let's put them across the chronograph. On target, you're going to want to hang in to the end. We're going to use up this funky gel and see exactly what the 170 grainer from Big E will do in the jelly test. Let's get to it. Whoo, did this take a lot of setup? Man, this stuff is a lot of work. And boy, I'm going to, like my brother-in-law, who's a pastor, would say, I'm going to try not to keep you too long today. We're going to get this message across, get it across quickly, I hope. We got a Ruger Security 6, 2.5-inch barrel. This is H110 up underneath 170 grain Big E pill. And we got 5 shots. Let's see what this looks like across the chronograph, folks. Ooh, high.
1066.
1066 out of 2.5-inch.
$1,124.
It's been a long time since I fired this thing. We're going to go single action. Boy, that trigger is long on this Security 6.
1060. 1064.
And this should be number 5. There you have it. Not as consistent as I would like for it to be. I don't think with this H110 and 2.5-inch barrel, it's getting a complete burn. I did load these on a Lee Classic turret. I didn't hand trickle the rounds. I just loaded with the old powder measure, but there it is. Urban self-defense. You know what? With H110, doesn't kick as hard either. By the way, these results will be posted over on dayattherange.com. We're going to grab these same rounds loaded with 300 M&P, 1 grain more than the H110 load. And over at dayattherange.com, I'll tell you the load. I'll also post the graphs from the chronograph as well. Let's move on to 300 M&P. 300 M&P loads. Look how far those 170 grainers, though, stick out. By the way, the H110 was easy ejection. No pressure signs at all. Man, this 170 grain pill, man, look how close it sticks to the cylinder. I've got a tight crimp on these things to try to prevent crimp jump, but let's see. Hopefully I don't lock up my revolver out here. Let's see. All right, single action. 300 M&P, 170 grain pill.
$1,214.
There's a lot more kick with the 300 M&P. I'm waiting for the chronograph to read to try to get the sound for you all as well. That's why so much time in between shots.
$1,158.
I think velocity is a little bit higher. Recoil feels about the same. Let's check for crimp jump. Nope, all good. Recoil feels about the same. I did notice more flash in the H110, so maybe 300 M&P is living up to its claim to fame.
1,138. 1,092.
Man, a little sporadic on my loads.
1,087.
And that should be 5. Do we get an easy eject, folks? All 5 rounds right here. Urban Defense, H110, and 300 M&P, 2.5-inch barrel, Ruger, Security 6. Maybe we'll do a review on it if you guys want to see it. I don't know. Doesn't seem like a lot of revolver fans out there anymore. But that's okay, because we got a 4-inch for home defense coming up next, folks. All right, we got the Smith & Wesson 686 plus 4-inch barrel loaded up. H110 is what we got here. H110 under that 170 grain pill. This one's had a little trigger work done on it. Ooh, dead center.
1,089.
Didn't seem to pick up much velocity, did it? I know that's what we all think.
1,155. 1,168.
This is interesting to me.
1,132.
I think it's picking up maybe a little. And last shot. 1146. Well, we'll see the averages over at dayattherange.com. Easy ejection, folks. Hey, where's my buddy Charlie at? Charlie, what do you make of the velocity difference between the 2.5-inch Ruger Security 6 and this Smith & Wesson 686 4-inch barrel? I tell you what, recoil is a lot tamer in this 4-inch barrel. I know it's a lot heavier as well. Wasn't bad in the 2.5-inch either. Now, we're going to move on to 300 M&P out of the old 4-inch. 300 M&P powder underneath 170 grain Big E blue pill. By the way, loaded with small pistol Magnum match primers. Yeah, small pistol Magnum match primers. Here we go, folks. What a mess. Oh my gosh. Mess and a lot of fun.
$1,128. $1,178. $1,180.
I think that's 5. No, that's 4. And we got one more. And that's 5. 1,200 feet per second.
1,233.
Here's what I noticed so far. Easy ejection on both loads out of both revolvers so far. And the cases are fairly clean. I am going to say, no, they're about the same. I was going to say maybe the H110 is a little bit cleaner, but they're about the same. No flattening of primers, no catering or anything of that nature. Hey, let's move on to the Hunter. Can you hunt with 170 grain hard cast? Stay around to the end because the ballistics gel will tell us that. Taurus, 6.5 inch coming up next. All right, folks, I'm seriously concerned about the Taurus tracker now because there is no room for error. These 170 grain pills, which I think, at least my belief, and the gel will tell us that at the end of the video, is close to the perfect weight and size. But here's the deal. Take a look at this. I don't know. Can you see that? That is, I mean, right at the edge where seems the Taurus tracker cylinder is a tad bit shorter than the 686 and also the Ruger Security 6. So we'll check often for crimp jump on this thing to make sure nothing comes out rather. Here we go. This is H110. I put on my peepers, by the way,
1,309.
so I can see that front sight good.
$1,285.
Now let's check.
$1,289.
Oh, that crimp you got on there, big fella, is something mean. It is a somewhat medium to heavy crimp, I would say. I noticed a lot of flash coming out of this 40.
1,250.
And last shot. Oh yeah, big flash, big flash.
1,320.
Ejects pretty easily. I don't know, can you see the cases, folks? Can you see the cases? They're pretty clean. Let's move on. 300 MMP. 300 MMP out of the Taurus tracker. Will it pick up any velocity? Same velocity, who knows? The 6.5 inch, even with the porting, picked up quite a bit of velocity over the old 4-inch Smith & Wesson 686, that's for sure. No flash.
1,325.
Let's check crimp jump.
1,361.
Oh, beautiful. Think I might be able to trust these loads.
$1,348. $1,342.
And this is the 5th one. Oh yeah, I saw a little flash on that one, Alliance. You said it's not flashy. Well, folks, there you have it. H110, 300 MMP, 170 grain pill. Hey, Alliance, I think, hey guys, I'm for sure, at least out of the Taurus, the 300 MMP shells are quite a bit dirtier than the H110. There you have it. Now, you know what's next. You see it over there? Can you see it? I don't know. Boy, that Marlin is raring to get out of the stable. So let's bring it out. Oh yeah, baby, the Marlin. Hey, by the way, it's truly important that you test your loads before you go out on a hunt, especially one you paid for, because what I found out is that these blues are too long. Big E, they're too long for the Marlin. They won't feed. I'm gonna single feed them to get those chronograph results. But man, if you crimp them on that crimp groove, they're just too long. 1.635 when it really should be, I think, for a 357 Magnum is 1.5 something, I believe it is, right? Guys, 7 yards back, but we're still gonna single feed this thing. Here we go. So soft.
1,606.
Holy cow. Did you see that? 16. Wow, what a jump over that 6-inch revolver. Oh,
1,642.
what fun. Number 3. You know what? This is like so soft. This is H110, folks.
1,612.
That gold bead on the front.
1,616.
And this Skinner peep sight. Oh, they're made for each other. I love lever actions. Something about them.
$1,642.
Some real barn burners. Hey, can 300 MMP match that? Remember, what we're out here for, to see if Alliant 300 MMP lives up to its challenge of being more efficient, which I don't think it is, because it takes about a grain more, according to the book, to make more velocity than H110. But I do see less flash from all revolvers and also the rifle today. I do see less flash. I think the cases probably come out a little bit dirtier with 300 MMP. We still got to get to that old gel test. But let's get 300 MMP through this thing first. 300 MMP. Underneath, 170 grainer. Big E blue. Did you guys see that one holer with the H110? Can I match the accuracy? Let's see what the velocity does also. Here we go. Oh, soft push.
1,756.
No. Nope. Let me take these peepers off. 7 yards down range. It's a shame my eyesight. 1,756. Woo, smoking. Imagine that on a white-tailed deer. You think it'll get it done? Is it good for coyote, white-tailed deer? I don't know. Hey, answer that question down below. Is it good for black bear? What do you guys think? Oh, 170 grain hard cast. Oh, and the accuracy is there.
1,740.
Ooh, 1740. Easy eject. Case is dirtier for sure. 3.
1,724.
4.
1,763.
Something about working that lever action. And this is 5. Ooh, that Skinner peep sight.
1,749.
Man, you can pick it up. I got a spare Skinner peep right here. Folks, if you don't know about Skinner for lever action, go check him out. Go check him out. Make some nice sights. I got that gold bead front dot. Hey, over at dayattherange.com, we're going to post the velocity, see what the difference is between 3-inch, 2.5-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, and 16-inch barrels with the same exact loads between H110 and 300 M&P. Now you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Let's get that gel and see what it looks like between each one of these. Woo! All right, folks, little bit of spoiler alert. The 300 M&P rounds seem to have a little bit greater the velocity than the H110. So I have 300 M&P loaded up in this 2.5-inch Urban Defense carry pistol, if you will, or carry revolver. And we've got 36 inches of clear ballistics gelatin. Not so clear. I've got one 20-inch block that's been used once with 3 rounds in it. I've got it flipped around on the bare side. And then I've got one that I just remelted directly behind it that's a 16-inch that has not been used. It's 170 grain at the velocities we saw earlier, right for urban detection, or will it over-penetrate and go through 36 inches of clear ballistics gelatin? Let's see. Ruger Security 6. Let's go single action. Here we go. Ooh, hit hard. I don't know where that thing went. I could see it go into the block. Let's go down and take a look. All right. Let's see. 2.5-inch Ruger Security 6 entered right there. Let's go around here. You can see that wound track right there. Goes all the way down through 16 inches. Here is, that's 20-inch block. Here's a 16-inch block. And guess what, folks? There it is. See that going all the way through. It comes out right here and right there on the target. So I don't even know that it's worth going through any more tests, gel tests that is, for this 170 grainer. We know if it'll do that out of a 2.5-inch Ruger Security 6, we know what it'll do out of a 4-inch, a 6-inch, and also that 16-inch Marlin. So folks, that's where I think the video maybe ends. Wow, I was not expecting that. That hard cast all the way through, Big E. Goodness. Oh, you guys came back. You came back to see this old train wreck. Since 300 M&P seemed to fare the best today, at least in velocity, I wanted to see if 5 shots, single fed, out of the old Marlin 16-inch barrel will do on target. Now, I got these peepers in. Let me make some excuses first. Got these peepers in so I could see that gold bead front dot really well. But man, does it make all that blurry. These are 1.2s, I think, from a reader perspective. Doctor says he won't do anything for me other than keep some 1.2s around until they get a little worse. That's okay. Still having fun. That's my disclaimer. Anything you see from now on is blamed on the eyes. What can we do? Let's see. All right, that's one. I don't know where it hit, folks. You guys will know before I do. All I know is that gold bead front dot covers up at 25 yards that black circle down there on the bottom. Black able target. It's 2. Don't worry, I'll find those 357 Magnums for sure. Those cases I'm ejecting, oh, I'll find them. I can't leave those. That's 3. That's 4. And it's the last one in the pocket. 25-yard pistol range. And that's 5. Folks, I don't know what it looks like. You guys tell me. Let me go down range and take a look at this old target, but we're going to pick up the brass before we do. Oh man, I had one flyer. That ain't too bad. I tell you what, I think it's a hunter. What do you guys think? Oh, I think that combo will get it done. There's 5 shots, 25 yards. All right. Let me tell you what I think about these 2 rounds. Range Fans Reloaders Network. What do you think about that range session, that gathering, data gathering session? Ruger, Security 6. Go over to dayattherange.com if you want to see the velocity and the numbers. Ruger, Security 6, Urban Defense, Home Defense, Smith & Wesson 686 4-inch barrel, and also the Hunter Special. For revolver hunting, that is, Taurus Tracker, 6.5-inch ported, and then down front, you got the old Marlin 1894 that was raring to get out of the barn today, and we put it through some clear ballistics gelatin. I still believe that 170 grain, based on the velocity that we saw, could be the best overall weight for 357 Magnum, my humble opinion. But I tell you what I need, Big E. I've never done this before. Big E does some marvelous casting. I am willing to purchase for the channel a mold that does hollow points, because that's what I think I need. I think between myself and Big E, we can come up with some 170 grain hollow points that nobody else has. I hope there's a mold out there for it. If there is, please put it down in the comment. Leave comment over at dayattherange.com. Tell me where to get this mold so that Big E can cast us some hollow points. What do you guys think? Don't you think Big E should do that? I think that's what Big E should do for the channel. That's what he should do for his little brother. Notice I said little, Big E. All right, folks, there you have it. I do love that 170 grain hard cast, but as we saw, that cut the gel test short. Urban Defense 2.5-inch barrel at about 1,100 feet per second traversed through 36 inches of clear ballistics gel. That's not what I want for Urban Defense walking around the city in some way, form, or fashion and having over-penetration in that way. So Big E, the next test needs to be hollow point. Not something we can go by. We're going to develop this ourselves some kind of way. We're going to develop this ourselves. What we can cast and mold, 170 grain, hollow point. Let's do this. Absolutely ecstatic about how you guys support the channel, but I'm going to ask you for one more thing. Support KGC Coating LLC, kgccoatings.com. Look, if you need any type of Cerakoting gunsmithing services, firearm transfers, that's in this area, of course. Hey, I know this guy. Stand up, gentlemen. Outstanding quality. Stands behind his work also. I'll get some pictures for him and post them over at dayattherange.com if you need something coated. I tell you what, there ain't a better place I think you should see than KJC Coating. He has a website coming up here soon also. Folks, there you have it. 170 grain. 357 Magnum, 300 M&P powder. Good gracious alive, Big E, hollow points. It's got to be the next test. I'm going home, folks. Thanks for all the support.